Hey guys, it's Lindsay and we are in my kitchen and today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be making a banana cream pie. I was planning on making it anyway and I figured why not just film it and show y'all that I'm not that great of a cook. This recipe comes from The Joy of Cooking, which is an American staple, and I've already bookmarked the page here for the banana cream pie. And so I'm making a banana cream pie because it's also my husband's favorite. I do enjoy them as well. And I never, for like being a pudding pie, which you would think would be quite easy, and I'm sure there's professional cooks out there who are thinking this is the most simple thing ever to make, I somehow mess it up every time. Maybe if I'm videotaping it, it'll put some pressure on me to get it right. I am on page if you want to follow along at home. I don't know what version. I think there's a lot of, like, this is the 75th anniversary edition. But this would be, it's like I'm at school when I used to be a teacher. Everyone turn to page 685 in your textbook, which it will tell you you need to flip back a few pages to get the beautiful crust and to know how to do that. So you're going to watch me do this whole thing. And then also you're going to want to use the vanilla pie filling recipe, and then we just add the bananas to it. And I like to say it's super easy to do, and it really should be super easy to do, but I seem to always mess it up. So let's see if I can get it right this time. All right, so we have our pie plate, our graham crackers, our pudding, and our nanners, some sugar. I want to show you guys something because I've made this so many times and I mess it up someplace. I have underlined, there you go, unsalted, because at some point I use salted, and cooking, if you didn't know, is a complete science. And if you do sometimes for certain recipes, one little thing off, it throws everything off. We have our unsalted butter. This is the worst thing when a recipe is on one page and then it continues on the next page, because then I'm like, I gotta do this. This is how I miss stuff. 1.5 cups of fine graham cracker. Now, this is where I'm terrible at taking notes on recipes when I've done them before. And like, I don't make this thing every week, but I make it a few times a year. And I know at one point I knew the exact amount of graham crackers I wanted to use in the crust. And it was like a perfect amount, because either you end up making too much crust or too little crust. It's like too buttery, too hard, or it's too, it's fallen all over because there's not enough butter. It was like I used 10 crackers, was like the amount of crackers that I wanted to use. This is why I can't videotape and cook, because I can't even focus right now. My ADD is just like camera, read, recipe, make the food. So I know I should probably turn my oven on here. Probably want to have everything out and prepared beforehand and like spread out. So kudos to people who do this regularly, because there's a lot that goes into it. Right? It says melted and cooled. I don't remember ever cooling it. Okay. Microwave. This is where we take our plastic bag. Now, you can get the graham crackers that already have the sugar and cinnamon and all that stuff in them. I don't recommend doing that, though. I recommend just get the basic plain graham cracker. Probably just break them up a little bit as you throw them in there. And I want to say 2 packages was enough. That's what my memory is telling me. So, like I said, I believe that in the past I used an entire package of graham crackers and it was way too much. It also seems like it might be not enough. I'm going to do a happy medium. I'll do 2 packages. We'll waste this one because I'll probably never use it for anything else. Just take half of this. I'm going to get the air out of that. Smash our graham crackers. This is the fun part. Right? I guess if you have kids, this is like what you let them do, and you get to just hit it. There's probably an easier way to do this, and if you know it, just let me know. And I like it to be really fine. And I've made mistakes in the past where I've left it. All right, looks good to me. So we have our graham crackers done. I don't know if I've ever cooled the butter before I've done it, so maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I have my graham cracker in the bowl, whatever. Our melted butter that we didn't cool. Mix that up. What I'm getting is this really nice kind of wet, well, my counter is getting it, kind of a wet mixture, which is what I want. I've done this before where it's been, like I said, if I use too much graham cracker, it's too dry, and I can't really form it to the pie plate as well as I would like. So just make sure it's mixed pretty well and everything's been coated with the butter. All right, so I'm putting my crust. You don't need to pour it all in at one time, but this should be the right amount. I'm taking a large spoon. Sculpt this into the edges. Easier way to do this. Lay wax paper down and then they just press another pie plate on top. And better than what I'm doing, but I think this is always fun. It feels like you know, sculpting my pie crust. If you've made one of these before, what you find out is that if the crust doesn't stick together well, then when you cut it and you go to scoop it out, it just falls apart. So that is why the crust is the most important. The rest is, I mean, it's all pretty easy, but if you get it wrong, it's like you can mess up the whole thing. And then there's always like, oh, but it's pie, don't worry about it. It's going to taste good all mixed together. But you still want it to come out of the plate, you know, nicely. Let's put it in the oven. Okay, so we have some of our leftover graham cracker crust that hopefully my counter was clean. And I'm gonna put this just in a bowl, or you can put it in a baggie to save it. And then when we go to serve the pie tonight, we will sprinkle this on top. Now students, you turn to page, I have it marked here, 685, where it says banana cream pie. We're going to make it. And what's funny about the banana cream pie part is that it just says make recipe for vanilla cream pie, but add bananas. This is a good way to do it. I'm going to be honest. There's part of me right now that wants to do this because I said the crust is where I go wrong. And it's not always the crust. It's the actual vanilla cream that goes in the pie. It's not a banana pudding pie. It's a banana cream pie. So we're making cream. We're not doing pudding. Okay, this is the fun part. I also want to fully disclose that when I make this recipe, I don't already goof on the crust, is I have read this and done it, like I've said, multiple times. And it says here clearly 5 large egg yolks. Yolks, the yellow part. And at least twice I've made this recipe and read yolks and used egg whites. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that. Like I said, I've done it twice, and I even noted not to do it, and I still did it. So maybe it's, I don't know what's going on, lost in translation. So in my cookbook, I have it underlined, right, that you probably can't see, but I have it underlined yolks, okay, to remind myself to pause at that part and to put the yellow, I should write yellow, the yellow part of the egg, because maybe yolks is just too sophisticated for me to know. Is this a medium or a small? I think this is normally a small saucepan. We're going to use it though. So I have my 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Okay, so I'm using my 1 cup because it's easier to pour in there, and I can just, 1/4 cup. Does it say to mix first or just to pour it all in there? Whisk in a medium heavy saucepan until well blended. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk it together. This came from my aunt. I believe when she lived in Austria. They're probably everywhere now, but I always have liked it. 2.5 cups. Oh, it could be on the money, people. Oh my goodness. It is. Look at that. It's fate. 2.5 cups. Perfect. Vigorously whisk until no yellow, so yellow should have been my key, until no yellow streaks remain. 5 large egg yolks. That's the yellow part. Don't forget it. Yellow. And I know there's probably a contraption I can buy that just separates this, but why would I do that when I can do this instead? 5. And why do we want the yolks? Because it gives it that beautiful yellow color. And what else is yellow in color? Bananas. I can feel it turning into pudding. That's the fun part. And you can kind of like, you know, you're making something. You're cooking from scratch. And why do we know it's yellow? Those yolks. Heyo, got the apron. My magical helper assisted me. My apron, by the way, is a simple black apron that, oh goodness, that's not what I want to have happen. We're gonna take it off the heat, just in some butter, pouring our vanilla in. All right, so what we're gonna do now is cut up our bananas. Now the recipe does not say that you need to line the pie plate. Oh my God, lose the bananas. Line the pie plate with bananas, but I like to. So I just thinly thinly slice the banana up the pie plate. That one's a little thick. Don't judge me on that one. So I'm just going to go all the way around the pie plate crust with banana. So all the bananas. You can improvise. So if you mess up, just say that was the plan the whole time. So I have a little bit of banana left. This is actually nice because then I'm only using 2 bananas, which I think is what the recipe called for anyway. I swear I've used more before. So for example, we could pour the pudding in, or half the pudding in, half the cream in, line it with bananas, the other half of the cream, line it with bananas again if you want to have the bananas on top, or just banana cream, probably the way to do it, whipped cream on top. I like the bananas on the bottom as part of the crust. It's just the way I do it. And then we're going to add just a couple garnish bananas on the top to say, hey, yo, I am a banana cream pie. And then there is our banana cream pie. Beautiful. Then it goes in the fridge for at least, I think it says 3 hours, but let's see, my time right now is 3:30, so this will be ready just in time for dessert tonight after dinner. Again, I'm Lindsay. This is the banana cream pie episode. I don't think I messed it up too bad. At least it's yellow. Like I said, in the past, I've used the egg whites and I've had white banana cream pie, and it was good, but it wasn't solid. Let's just say that. Thanks for watching. If you have tips for banana cream pie, I would love to get those tips. But this is a basic pie you can make super easy, and anyone will be impressed that you made something from scratch. Maybe they won't, but it'll taste good. So who cares? And now it's time for pie. Yes. The banana cream pie has been in the refrigerator for 3 hours. So good. Oh, that crust is good. You want your plate close to catch all those yummy crumbs, and it's a good chance it could come out a mess as well. Oh, hey, it came out pretty good. And there is your banana cream pie. Now, in a perfect world, we have whipped cream to add to the top of this, or heavy cream if you want to make it by hand. I usually just do the spray cream. Is it whipped cream? Whipped cream? I usually just do the spray kind out of the can, and it tastes great. And it covers any mistakes as well if you have them. But this might be one of the better pies that I've made. It's held together really quickly, and it's yellow, so that's good. There you go. And I'm gonna cut in to that piece. Yummy, get that nice pie crust. It's excellent. I'm not just saying it because I made it, but it's really good. I'm Lindsay. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your banana cream pies. If you have any tips or things you want to share with me, let me know. And if you use this recipe and make your own, I'd love to hear about it. Have a good one.